Hello everyone. Thank you all for tuning in to my videos again. For you all who don't know me, my name is Nicole. I am Creative One on YouTube. I am First Lady for Life on Instagram. I would greatly appreciate it if you would go ahead and press the like button. Appreciate for you to subscribe. And just want to say thank you for those in advance, and just thank you for tuning in today. For those of you who watched my video yesterday, if you noticed, it did cut off a little early. I do apologize about that. Basically, I did get my message through, so I was basically good with that. Ironically, after I posted that video, I had a very trying day, even based on the topic that I put on the video. So the universe actually placed me in a position to actually have present relevance to that video. So it was very emotional, a lot of negative and positive energy. It was overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm here today, so I'm here another day, and I have another message. So my videos will be surrounded around family, the acronym family, F.A.M.I.L.Y, Father and Mother, I love you. And today's topic, well, the topics will be centered around family, but today's question is, what are some of the influence and impacts on a child when their parent is not present in their life? Now, many of us, and the women, there is a larger scale of mothers raising their children alone than there is fathers, but not to diminish or state that fathers don't have this issue as well, because they do. Unfortunately, it has been very high with the mothers. I am a mother who did raise my children on my own. I actually was blessed to have a man who came in, and he loved me enough, and he married me, and he raised my children. This video isn't about that. It's about the impacts and the influences of a parent not being in a child's life. Despite what other adult has stepped up or stepped in, and usually great step parents, man, they not step, they just parents, but it doesn't mean that the child doesn't know who their biological parents are. And in that case, they begin to want to know, why is it that I don't have a relationship or I'm not around them? As they get older, these feelings begin to fester as they've been harbored for so long, and now they form questions. They're pondered in the mind. I want answers. And when these questions begin to surface and begin to start being asked, there's a lot of pain that's involved there. If you and your significant other conceive and bring a beautiful blessing into this world, and you've made all these plans, you have all these visions and these dreams, and you know, hey, this is the one, we're going to be together, we're going to have a life, you know what I mean? The whole dream that you sell. And then something happens. Once this child is born, the chemistry fades, the bond slips, the attraction is just not there anymore. And next thing you know, the conversation of, I just don't want to be here, is on the table. Okay. I'm a big girl, I can accept that. But does that mean that you don't be in your child's life? And unfortunately, that is that's common area in many scenarios. And we have to stop that. We have to be grown folk enough, mothers and fathers, men and women, that if we choose to part the relationship between the two, we should be adult enough to make sure that relationship between the parent and child does not diminish. Because what are the impacts and influence of that? Well, we know pain. Lots of pain. And I'm going to do a video on that too, because that stands for pay attention inward now. We also know that it brings anger and animosity. That's what we talked about with the questions. You know, festering, all that has harbored. Then you even get with disrespect and grudge, resentment. sometimes even revenge. Then you also may even have to deal with some type of depression, low self-esteem, thinking that something is wrong with their self. And last but not least, the same cycle getting repeated. And you don't want that. I have been told that due to my actions is the reason why the father was not present in my children's life. I apologize. I call bullshit. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But you could have still stepped up and been with your children and had a relationship with them. How do you do that? The same way you apply yourself for anything you want. And anything you choose to do, that's the same method and strategy that you use for your children. When you get up and put your clothes on, when you go get your hair cut, when you go get your hair done, when you go to the store and you buy your outfit, when you go to work, the same type of muscles, brain work, action, physical movement, emotion, why you don't put that into having a relationship with your child? But yet you will have the audacity to give an excuse. You either have reasoning or you have excuses. There's no reason that nobody should be able to be in their child's life unless the child or the parent is no longer there, or that there has been some legal court order for this particular situation. You're the father, you're the mother, this is your child. There's nothing that should be able to stop you from making sure you be in the life. Even on the end of the parent that has the child and the conversations that they have are negatively aimed toward the parent that isn't there. I've seen situations where even though this went on, that child still has a love for that parent and they want a relationship with them. I'm only saying, do not blame the other parent for why you haven't formed a relationship, but put all that energy, conversation, views, perspective into forming that relationship with the child. Don't allow that same negative generational cycle to trickle down because you felt some type of way. And that's bullshit. And we see it too much. My father wasn't around me. My children's father wasn't around them. Their children is not around them. This cycle has to stop. You want to have a relationship with your child? Grow up, adult up, man up, woman up. Let's talk. I'm not talking about you, and I'm not talking to you. I want to talk with you. This is what we need to do to co-parent. This is what I want to do in order to be able to have a relationship and spend time with. It's not always about finances. I done seen some fathers and mothers who ain't really got a lot of money, but I promise you they always with their children doing something. Sometimes I even look and be like, wow, to even have that type of momentum and that type of spirit when you don't even have all of the finances, man, salute you. You have people that have, man, 3 times what you have and still don't even make the initiatives and efforts that you do. Nobody's saying to stay in a toxic relationship. You know this relationship is toxic. You know that you are not feeling this individual anymore. You know that, guess what? This relationship has come to its expiration date. That's understandable. It's not my argument here. But you have this child now. This is your seed that you both made together. This is where you swallow your pride and you come together and say, what can be done in order to make sure that the child doesn't get affected by what's going on with us? Because this is where the impacts and the influence come on it. Yeah, you have some scenarios where, the influence can be, to hate the other parent. To wish nothing but ill and harm on the other parent. An impact could be that the child tries to do some harm to the other parent. Let's catch it and stop it first. It's people walking around here who have never even met their biological parents. It's some people walking around here who have never knew who their father was. There's people walking around here who know who their father is and don't even say nothing to him and will walk right past him in the street. This where we at, huh? Wow. There's some people that wish they did have children. Not even able to have any. And some people that have some and just walk away from them. And it's just not for men. Because ladies, we leaving children in garbage cans and stuff. Really? This is crazy. Stop fucking. What about that one? If you're not mentally here ready and emotionally here ready, the fuck is you sitting up putting yourself in a position where you can conceive and bring a child? We don't get no say to come here. Don't get no say on who to be our family. And understand no matter what, you got to go. And then you bring me in it to take me through this bullshit? Come on now. Come on now. We got to do better, people. It ain't doing nothing but creating and harboring a lot of pain for children who are growing up. And then there are adults who are hurting. They use all this animosity, all this anger. They channel the pain that they have toward either someone or some situation that had nothing to do with their pain. Because number one, they don't even want to face it to deal with it. It's too much emotionally. And then they don't even want to attempt or try strategies and methods that they can channel it more constructively. Start by talking about it. Start by saying, okay, guess what? Maybe it's time that you sit down in front of your father or you sit down in front of your mother and you say, this is how you made me feel. I had one of those talks. And it really cleared the air on a lot of things with me and my child. I love that my mother instilled family talks in me. I talk gutter and thorough to my children, and I get just as articulate and intelligent. We get deep too. I'm not going to sugarcoat it because why? What am I sugarcoating? I am sharing with them the real. I am preparing them for this reality of this real world that we out here. Why am I beating around any freaking bush? There's no need. You choose to be fucking, strap up, get you some birth control. You don't want to do that, you're going to have a baby. You're going to get pregnant. And ain't no promise that he's going to stay. What you going to do? Been there, done that. Now we have to say we have to act more responsible. We got to stop talking about that. We're grown. We're still growing. And I love how great men that I know have stated this. We're all a progress emotion. A work in progress. So we're always growing. And we all need to get to that point where we need to take our growing ass and step up and say, guess what? This is what we need to do right, because this ain't right when it comes to these children. I seen a meme, and I actually posted on my Instagram. A father went into a classroom, I think it was kindergarten, maybe first grade, whatever the case is. They had the orientation. And he noticed that he was the only father in this orientation. Now, this probably was a classroom, I think about 15 or 20. Nevertheless, they were given this slip because a slip that actually included the fees or whatever it was that they had to pay for the children. And this man, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was $25 a child. I think it was $25 a child. Might have been less than, I'm not sure, but something to that nature. Nevertheless, between 15 and 20, he paid for everybody's fee. He just paid for everybody's fee. And he said he know how it felt to not have a father. And he just chose to say, man, if this is what I can do at this time, I will. And those are the type of impacts that you have, that the child have, because when they go to school and they have events where daddy and daughter day, mommy and son, whatever the case is, when they see these other children and they see their parents, that brings on a hurt too. That's an impact. You even have some children, will sit there and get teased. And other children will tease me like, you don't have a daddy. You don't have a mom. Because you got these grown folks acting crazy and acting stupid in their feelings because they mad. Is you really mad at the parent or you mad at the child? Because it ain't about the parent. It's about the child. When it comes to finances, Google what the freak a baby needs. From infant, 1 year old, 2 year. They have this shit online. Estimate your child's size. Go buy the shit. Get a fucking gift receipt. And drop it off at Nana or Grandma's house if you don't want to see her. Have a relation with Grandma or Grandpa. Make the effort. Don't just sit there and say, I couldn't do this because of her. I see a whole lot of stuff you did do without her. And some of the women, I've seen some of these females. In my case, my children's father might not have took care of them, but guess what? He eventually had a set of children he had to take care of. Females doing it too. It happens. And I'm not excusing it. You get fed up, you this and that. He gonna watch it. No. Guess what? Get fed up and say, you know what? I need some rest. You need to get them twice a weekend. 2 weekends in a month. And then I have the other 2. Yes. And guess what? If you guys come up to this agreement, both parties need to live up to it. Don't do that to y'all children. You sit there, you tell me you love them. Then when it gets easier, when they get older, you want to sit there and say, yes, I'm your mom, I'm your dad, I'm this and that. Yeah, well, you are. Biologically, you are. But if you talk about being there in my life throughout that time, no, you're just like a sperm donor. Don't allow the relationship that you know you want to have, you need to have, you must have with your child be based on whatever relationship is fucked up between you and that child's other parent. That is not an excuse. You don't get a pass for that. You weren't thinking about none of that when y'all was fucking. You weren't thinking about none of that when y'all was getting down to what you got to do. But now because the relationship, y'all not in la la land, I'm not finna worry about what this child needs. Wow. And then you'll have the audacity to try to plead your case and give some type of reasoning. Look at my eyes. Roll them. Because I'm not a materialistic person. So with me, it's the little stuff that count. It could be just, you know what? Can I walk them to school every morning? Yeah. Shit, thank you. It ain't just got to be, did you get school supplies? Can I come and pick them up once a week and take them to lunch? Will you put me on the school list so that I can come and take them to lunch? Those are things that are realistically can be done if you actually want to do something. You get your ass on the social media and you post a little whatever it is and you post a picture and you do this and that. But did you actually post a picture of you and your child? What are some of the impacts and influences of a child not being around their parent? It makes them feel like they're not wanted. It makes them think that they wouldn't be able to be a good parent because they haven't been around that parent they don't know. Ask one. You don't believe me? I'm pretty sure we all know somebody that ain't had one of their parents in their life. Ask them how they feel. Ask them what influence and impacts were caused due to this. I speak from what I know. It made me not like my father. I had to give him a chance, though. When he finally came and apologized, and yes, he even went there blaming my mama. Stop. Because while you sit up here blaming her, she's God to me. She's the king. She's the queen. She was there. I ate because of her. Everything I had that I needed was because of her. So for you to come in my face and belittle her, it's the wrong move, partner. And a lot of them do that. Females, if you've left your child with the father, and they get into the age where is it that man, they don't want no relationship with you, you are not able to get mad at that father. You created that seed. You planted that. And I know it should hurt if he actually then found him a nice woman, she steps in and she takes on that road. It gotta hurt. But you did that. I don't know if this is making any sense to y'all, but I do know it made a lot of sense to me because I actually went through it. And I know for a fact that's pain. When you sit around and you look and you be like, man, he know I'm his child. She know I'm her child. But they will not be around me. They will not have a relationship with me. And some of them, y'all sit there and be like, I love you. What does that mean? What does it mean? Being in their life and have a relationship is way more than just distributing and spending money. Having relationships. I done seen a couple videos on social media where I done seen some dads doing some beautiful things with their children, and you know what? I get teary-eyed and emotional because number one, it's a beautiful thing, and I wish that my children did get some of that. I know I love the fact that I found them an awesome stepfather, and unfortunately he's gone now. But they did give him, they got love from him. And trust me, it wasn't always peaches and cream. He had to get in that buddy, he had to give him that tough love, snap on him, all that. But he did it because they loved him. And children remember that. They remember them playing ball in the park, going on a swim, swinging on the swing, playing double dutch, riding in the car. They remember. Because that means far more than anything you can buy them. They remember that time. The fact that you were there. Next time you want to blame somebody for the reason why you weren't in your child's life, walk to the nearest mirror and say nothing. And just look, and that's your answer. Nobody else. You have to hold and own that one. Don't allow negative impacts and negative influences to override your child and allow them to take that to adulthood and then turn around and administer the same thing on a whole new generation. Let's stop raising children who are hurting that turn into adults full of pain. I just found a better way to channel that. And I'm glad I did. After all of the karma that I didn't get back. Yeah. And kick my ass, I did. But think about it. I would love to hear what y'all feel. I would love to even hear from people who understand what I'm coming from. This is not so much as the bashing video. This is the video and the message to basically put in tune and let it be known. To parents out there who have not had a relationship and have not been in their children's lives, the blame is not to be thrown anywhere. I love that statement when it said when you point the finger at someone, you see these three? pointed here. So I'm not the problem. You are. Deal with it. Acknowledge your part. Apologize for the time you missed. And step up and start creating the relationship now. And if you're still throwing daggers and talking about what somebody else did and why you couldn't do, you ain't even accepted it yet. You was wrong. You did not do right by that child, and you know you didn't. And if you're still able to even have a relationship or form one with this child, do it. Don't allow that cycle to continue. Some people, if they didn't have a parent to raise them, they don't know how to be a parent to their children. This stuff is for real. I don't make this stuff up. I really hope that this resonated with somebody. I hope even if I just reach one person, even if I'm able to just say, man, get through to one person, say, man, because of you, you made me do it differently. Yeah. That's my fulfillment. Because I felt the pain. I've watched my children feel the pain. I've seen other children see the pain, feel the pain. So that's why I'm talking about the pain. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to leave you all. I thank you all for tuning in once again. Thank you so much for just taking the time to look at my video. Pass this on. Share it with your friends, your family. Share it on other social networks. It would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to like and subscribe. You all be safe. Make it a productive day. Make it count. And man, you all have an awesome day. I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.